A GOP candidate for California's 44th district wanted to make a statement about transgender individuals using the bathrooms that they identify with. The candidate's name is Jasmine Saavedra, and she was at a Denny's restaurant. Apparently she needed to use the restroom, and she was informed that the person using the stall was a transgender woman. Well, she thought it would be a great idea to take her phone out and start filming a Facebook Live video while she is simultaneously harassing this person as she uses the restroom. Take a look at the video.
Okay, this is happening right now in Denny's in Uygur, Los Angeles. I'm trying to use the ladies' room right now. Ladies' room. And there is a man here saying that he's a lady. So, a few different customers trying to use the restroom, but the guy insists he's a lady.
Harassing me. I'm just using the restroom and it's invading.
Why you use the ladies'
invading
room?
my privacy. One.
Well, no, you invading my privacy because I'm a woman and I deserve to use the woman, the ladies'
I'm in
room.
the toilet. I'm in the toilet. How am I invading your privacy? Hello? Hello?
Just give us a second.
Do your homework before you speak to me.
Wait, you violated my right.
Give us a second.
You're sick, a stupid sick.
So she's claiming that her rights are violated as she is harassing a person while that person is using the bathroom.
I can't believe she's never seen a man in the woman's restroom before. I mean, if she believes this person is a man.
Well, one other thing I want to mention is the argument that you hear from conservatives is that if you allow transgender people to use the bathroom that they identify with, well, that will create unsafe situations. But the only person who's harassing anyone or causing an unsafe situation is this congressional candidate in California, right? You are harassing someone as they're using the bathroom. That person is simply using the bathroom and you are going out of your way to harass them.
So, you know, Anna, I read the story and then I forgot she was a congressional candidate. I mean, that's insane if you're just a normal person. She is a self-proclaimed Latino spokeswoman for President Trump. Now, it's self-proclaimed, okay? And she's a candidate in the 44th district in California among the Republicans running there, okay? So now look, and by the way, to be fair, anyone can run, okay? But does anyone who's a Republican look at that video, and I know the answer to this, but I'm trying to find the ones that are not. That looks at that video and goes, yeah, I'm proud. That's me, yes, way to go. You should go into a bathroom with a video camera and you should harass people like that, and I'm so proud of her. And if you're in that camp, like just like do some self-evaluation for a second. Are you sure you're the good guy? Are you positive about that? The one stalking people in the bathrooms and the one saying that person's identity bothers me so much that I'm gonna just try to humiliate them publicly. What a sad, sick person you are.
So, look, it's one thing to have conservative views about the transgender community and keep those views to yourself. You know, it's another thing to take this kind of action. It's so hideous and so incredibly cruel. I mean, when you look at the statistics and you look at the suicide rate among transgender people because of the way that they're disenfranchised, the way they're discriminated against, the way that they're constantly being attacked, and then you see videos like that. I mean, this woman is so incredibly ignorant, and she thinks it's a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna film this.
I imagine she's trying to make a name for herself before the primary, but I imagine she is a fringe candidate trying to sort of create a viral moment for her so that people pay attention, and perhaps that'll happen. I'm curious if we know what the Denny's guy was. Was that a Denny's employee? Maybe, hopefully.
It was a Denny's employee in the bathroom, not the one in the stall, but in the video you can see a man in there. It was an employee.
And he was knocking on the door. Was he saying to get? Do we know if he was telling?
I am not clear.
I think I know this part of the story. It wasn't the transgender person's, but they found, supposedly this is Denny's statement, they found drugs on the floor. And so the Denny's employee went in there to take care of that.
No,
but that had nothing to do with the transgender woman who was in the bathroom stall.
Yeah, and so to Ben's point, unfortunately, and we're also guilty of this. We were talking about this when Alison Hartson was here on election night last Tuesday. And so she's running against Dianne Feinstein in California for the Senate seat. And who's the one candidate in that race that the media has covered the most? And I've covered him too. It's a guy named Patrick Little who's a Nazi. And he says he wants to drive the Jews out of the country. And he's doing robocalls about how Feinstein is Jewish and needs to be driven out, et cetera.
Does he have a van or something?
No, true, right? So, and by the way, in one of the polls, he was at 18%. So all of a sudden, fringe candidates that are polling, and he would come in second and he would go to the general election if that poll is accurate. I hope to God that it's not. But Blankenship with the China people, these guys, the deportation buses in Georgia, this lady going into the bathroom.
Way more.
And so why? Because I hope accidentally, not on purpose, incentivize bad behavior. Yeah, because if you're crazy, we cover you. If you're a great candidate who's going to help the people of your state, you don't get any coverage. And so this is the result of that.
Right, Alison has the audacity to have spent the last couple of years working to get money out of politics, and she was a school teacher. That's not viral.
Yeah.
It's not sexy.
Yeah, it's not sexy. Yeah.
But I don't know what we're supposed to do because, look, on one hand, we do cover those candidates. You have an entire show dedicated to covering those candidates, which is Rebel Headquarters.
The progressive candidates.
Yeah,
yes.
the progressive candidates, yes, not the candidate that we were talking about in this story. But at the same time, you have these lunatics running around victimizing people. And then what do? We just sit back and let it happen? Do we not call them out? Do we not provide a voice for the powerless? Because that's the issue here. Like for me, that woman being harassed like that, she has no power at all, okay? And who's gonna speak out for her? Who's gonna try to defend her?
And that's true because that woman left and this little lady, she stayed and sat down and ate dinner.
She's having moons over my hammy, right? And so who?
Delicious, by the way.
Thank you. So like that gets the question of like what do you do with this woman whose name we'll leave out and Aaron Schlossberg, whose name's already out there, the guy in Miami who now we have found.
The guy in New York.
Guy in New York, excuse me, who said I'm headed to Denny's apparently. The man who's had 3 videoed incidents of confronting people, which suggests that maybe there were a few that were not caught on tape.
So he's a serial racist.
He's a serial. So he has, he's been kicked out of his office. He's had his, I don't know if his home address got out there, but certainly his office did, and he's getting hammered on Yelp. He's lost business. And there are some people, good people I've seen on Twitter, really good, decent people who are like, I'm not comfortable with that part of this story.
Yeah, don't do that.
You also are not comfortable with that.
No. Look, if you say, hey, the office is maybe slightly different, but don't go to people's homes. Don't do that. They sent a mariachi band to Schlossberg's office. That's funny.
That's funny.
Okay, all right, fine.
That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing Brian Kemp would do.
Yeah, but don't stalk people. Like this woman, bothering the poor trans person there. Is a lunatic, and don't go to her home. Don't give her. We got to fight back with ideas, and Anna's right, and we have to say, don't do that. That's terrible. Think about how awful you're making that person. She's an actual human being. Okay, for God's sake, be decent for a second, but don't go and stalk them and go to their houses, because then, by the way, not only is it immoral, but it also allows them to play the victim. Don't do that.
It's tough. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I knew that would happen to Aaron, and as soon as his name got out there, and I thought, oh, this is going to be ugly. But to Anna's point, when you put it like that, it's a really, like she'll have immunity. She gets to sort of victimize the powerless, and gets to do it, and you'll get to do it again sometime.
The weird part about that video is all the people eating at Denny's.
No one really reacted to it. Yeah, if you watch the full video, you have this candidate yelling and filming this video.
With her selfie stick?
Right.
Well, to be fair, they were having moons over my hammy.
Yeah. You can't let it get cold.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will say one last thing about this. And by the way, luckily in Coffee Bean and some of the other places across the country, they have not been reacting that way. They've been saying, stop it, don't do that to another person in the store. In this case, this Republican lady says, this is unbelievable. Well, that part is true. And says, only in California this happens.
Then get out of California.
Exactly. So if you ever say anything bad about Alabama or Mississippi, the Republicans need a safe space and they get triggered, et cetera, right? Well, you're in California, running for office in California. If you don't like California, there's a super easy thing. You can self-deport. Okay, you can just leave. You can go to Alabama. Oh my God, you might find a lot of Republicans that agree with you, although apparently not as many anymore because Doug Jones won. Okay, but so why are you here? Why are you here? As I'm telling you, please, please leave.
She's just having a tough time assimilating to California culture, right?
Okay, all right.
Because that's what you hear from right-wingers all
That's
the time, right?
You should assimilate.
And in California, it's not a secret. It's an incredibly liberal state. And if you don't like protections for transgender people, then don't live in a blue state like California.
Can I just suggest another door solution?
Sure, great. Yeah, Dan Patrick's listening. Yes.
Thanks, Lieutenant Governor. Why don't we just make all the bathrooms like
unisex?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, California, Los
you do it
Angeles
at
has
home,
been moving in
you
that
know,
direction.
Right.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way. They are quite unisex at home. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's people manage.
Right, you go in a bathroom, somebody's house. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the male bathroom.
That's right.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.